when we get out there, we don't know what we're going to see. Why? Because they're young. When the lights come on, people start cheering, the band start playing, we hear old Kentucky home out there, you don't know what's going to happen. They might start crying. Have to bring some Pampers out. I have no idea. I don't know what they're going to do.
Well, all of us on this panel use Pampers. Howie for his son, and Daryl and I.
Getting old.
We won't get into that. Welcome to the Red and Blue Review. And you know what's getting old? Let's play some football, for goodness sakes.
No kidding. Oh, it feels like forever.
Yes, it feels like it. Welcome to the show. We are going to get you ready for the football season. We're getting ever so close to Louisville's undefeated march through the schedule. Right, Daryl Bird of the Cat's Paws?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
The only good thing about us taking so long to get to the opener is it gives Louisville more and more and more time to convince themselves that UK is so bad it's not even going to matter that day. That's the only advantage.
Howie's already there, right? Howie Lindsay, say hello, everybody.
Hey, I would believe that, except that UK keeps talking smack on Twitter. What are they thinking? Don't poke the bear. Leave the bear alone.
I didn't think they were supposed to be twittering, Daryl. What's going on here?
When camp's over, they were free, so it may have just unleashed it.
Back to Twitter. All right. We will not be tweeting.
No, tweeting, yeah.
We will be speaking, we hope, during our lightning round. The lightning round on the Red and Blue Review brought to you by the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety. Remember to click it or ticket. Well, who's hot for the University of Kentucky is Maxwell Smith. He will be the starting quarterback when the Cats and the Cards hook up on September 2nd. Now, what Joker's telling us now is, honestly, Morgan Newton had no shot at the job because he missed all of spring practice due to an injury, and he was so far behind in camp that he never had a shot at catching up, which kind of makes you wonder why it took him 2 or 3 weeks to make this decision for Max Smith.
People think that I probably should have said it, before training camp. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. We could have named it in the summer. How bad would that have been? I've seen that happen before, where you don't give guys a chance to compete, and I think it hurts your football team. But we were not about to do that to our football team. We had to give everybody, including the freshmen, including those 2 freshmen. We wanted to give those guys an opportunity to see if they. How else will we know if they are not, able to play with the #1 group without giving them a couple weeks?
Oh, this is really pretty simple. You don't name your starting quarterback early for several reasons. One, you're not going to tell Louisville who you keep them guessing as long as possible. He announces it right before they start the prep for the Louisville game, so that's when you do it naturally. Also, you don't do it during the summer because you absolutely do not want the kid thinking he's got it made and coasting. And you're going to tell the fans in the state of Kentucky that Patrick Towles doesn't get a chance to try out for the job? You don't. No. That's crazy. You do not do that as well. 3 obvious reasons why they handled it just the way they did.
One of the things I find comforting for Kentucky fans that have me concerned is if it's taking them this long to pick their quarterback and they've got the incumbent as Morgan Newton, who hasn't played in basically half a year, and he was challenged for the job, it made me concerned that maybe Max doesn't have it all together. But Joker's explanation should make Kentucky fans feel a lot better. Well, Kentucky has a quarterback, and it sounds like the Cardinals have everything. Sean Watson, the OC for the Cards, says their offense is clicking.
We're playing clean football, number one. We're playing fast football. So really pleased with the progress we've made. The things that we have details to clean up, little detail things that can make us even better. So we've just got to keep working. The guys have been awesome in terms of just staying humble and staying hungry. So I've been really pleased with, more than anything else, their mindset. They're chasing something special, and they're on a mission right now, and they practice and play focus. So they've been really a great group to work with.
This has got to be music to the ears of Louisville fans who saw an offense last year that was really anemic. I mean, Louisville won the league, won a share of the league with probably one of the league's worst offenses. I mean, they only scored about 20 points a game. So in terms of production, they were one of the league's worst offenses. If they are better than that, and this defense is better than they were last year because they brought back everybody, then the expectations of having such a great season are justified. I think what Louisville fans would much rather the offense be clicking than ticking. Last year was ticking, and the bomb exploded about mid-season. They had to revamp everything with the new offensive coordinator and all that. So clicking is good, ticking not so much.
Kentucky does have to revamp its running attack a little bit. Josh Clemens, Joker says, will not be able to play in the Louisville game, most likely, still hampered by problems from his surgically repaired knee. But the coach of the Cats says UK still has plenty of offensive ammunition without Josh Clemens.
Marco Robinson excites you every day. LeRod King's been consistent throughout his whole career here. Daryl Collins shows some flashes. Ronnie Shields shows some flashes. Our backs, I really feel good about the top 3 backs, and those 2 behind them, the 2 freshman back, they show some flashes. But we haven't performed yet this year under the bright lights. So we're just hoping that we can carry it from the practice field to the game field. Everybody doesn't have to have their A game. We just have to have. Majority of us have to have our A game on Saturday. So
it's tough for Josh Clemens, and a lot of players go through this. It takes a year to come back from ACL. Some guys are coming back quicker, and that makes the players feel like, well, I should be getting back quicker, and they're not. And it's a very lonely rehab, a very grueling rehab. And to me, you think about it, running back is probably the most cruel position in college football and the NFL. If I'm a running back and I lose my job because of injury, it's hard to get it back. If I'm a wide receiver, hey, I may be one of 5 wide. I can still get on the field.
Yeah.
If I'm a running back and I'm losing ground, then it's awfully hard to get back into that mix, and that's probably adding to the frustration for Josh.
One of the things that could challenge the Cardinals this year and what promises to be an exciting season is opening night jitters. But Scott Ratcliffe says that won't be a problem for this team.
Well, I mean, you don't get scared. You can't get nervous because we prepare. Preparation will help you, tame that nervousness. And when you prepare, you go out there and you're just having fun in the game.
I like to hear this from Louisville. I mean, they're talking preparation. They're really getting after them in terms of you're going to be the best prepared team on the field, and really that takes away some of that throw on interception on the first possession or whatever. And I really think in terms of what we're going to see on the field, the way Louisville loses this game is some big mistake like that.
Yeah.
And if they can just prepare, and rely on that preparation to get them through, I think it's much better.
Well, as Howie's saying, there aren't a lot of expectations for Kentucky to win the season opening Governor's Cup game. At least that's how most people outside the Kentucky locker room view it. But Inside Joker says the players have a much higher expectation for themselves.
You never go into a season with any other expectation other than that. We're in this thing to compete. Everybody that's in our building, everybody that's a part of any type of athletics, including you guys also, you're part of it. You're in it to compete. Okay? You're competing against him, you compete against him, he's competing against you, and that's what our football team is raring to go to do, to go out and compete again. It's been a few months since we have gotten a chance to show to Big Blue Nation since November. So we're excited about getting back out there and showing Big Blue Nation who we truly are.
A couple of things at work here. One, the Chicago Cubs fans every year think they're going to win the pennant. Finally, this is the year. The difference on this, Kentucky is actually really good and talented. They're just so blasted young. You don't have a clue if they're going to be good or they're going to win 2 games this year. You just don't know how all that youth is going to react. Are they going to pick up the fact the offense is much more complicated? The defensive schemes are much more complicated. You don't know how that's going to play out. And guess what? We get to watch and learn along with them.
And that's one of the good things about having the Kentucky-Louisville game the first game of the year, because now everybody's going to be surprised. Nobody's going to have any advanced scouting in this deal at all. Oh, well, there's been some exciting new developments in Louisville basketball. Howie, they've added a 6'10" mystery man from Australia. He went through Australia to get to Louisville?
He did. Sudan to Australia to Chicago to IMG Academy to Louisville. How about that?
And his luggage made it.
Yeah, you got it. All the way through Southwest. Must have been Southwest.
Yeah.
But, all right, the kid's name is Mango Mathiang.
All right.
And, he's a 6'10", apparently a phenom. I mean, he's a guy who's got, the great athleticism. He has no idea what he's doing on offense yet, but he can block shots and that kind of thing. And he reclassified from 2013 to 2012. The trouble is that Louisville fans and Louisville reporters and us scouts know a lot more about the Saturday Night Live character Mango than we do about this guy. Yeah. Nobody's ever heard of him. I mean, really, he was at this prep school, and we've got video of the prep school, and there's like an 8-minute long video, and he's in like 30 seconds of it. So we just don't know.
Is he 6'10", 187?
Here's what's weird.
True?
He's listed at 205.
Yeah.
Rick Pitino says he's 187.
That's a nice pick.
that is extremely skinny. What was Jules Kamara? Who's
around
that?
It sounds very similar to the path that he's taken to get there. It does sound like it. And Jules was really skinny. And Jules' frame, he never got any bigger. He added, but he never got big. He was always that toothpick.
And Otis George was about like that. He was about 180, 185 pounds. And I remember one of my favorite stories ever to write was about Otis George eating a pizza. And every night before he went to sleep, he had to eat a large pizza.
Wow.
A full large pizza.
I think that should be our assignment as well.
Great idea.
And the best mango was on Blazing Saddles, by the way.
Well, as you know, cats have 9 lives. Cards have 9 seniors. We'll tell you what kind of impact that might have in the season opener. As we head to the break, Daryl's going to tell us about everything you need to know about UK football in one convenient location.
Absolutely. The football yearbook, you do need to pick it up because like the rest of us, there's so many young guys. You need to get to know these people. Got a lot of stories, 20, 25 individual profiles on some of the players on this year's team, including Q&A with Joker Phillips, and look at the dreaded SEC slate and what's out there in that regard on newsstands everywhere, or you can just give us a call at 800-641-3302.
Have you driven a Ford lately? Well, stop by Allstate Ford and test drive a new Explorer or F-150, or visit us online at allstatetrucks.com. Allstate Ford, on the Watterson at Poplar Level Road.
Underage drinking can permanently affect your memory and speech abilities. 10% of suicides involve underage drinking. 36% of homicides involve underage drinking. 30% of drownings involve underage drinking. Almost half of underage drinkers become addicted. Don't throw your life away.
It's Chevy Truck Month, and now is the time to get your new truck. Bachman has more Chevy trucks than any other dealer, all at fantastic prices. You'll get every Chevy incentive plus exclusive Bachman discounts during Chevy Truck Month. Tremendous selection of Silverados and every dependable Chevy truck. Plus, you save more during Chevy Truck Month with exclusive Bachman discounts. All Chevrolets are created equal. Bachman makes the difference.
See Allison at lunch today? I'm gonna text her. I'm gonna text Allison. Hey, hold up, Matt's calling me. Matt's calling me. Hey, we got the food and we're on our way right now. Hey, who's coming, bro? You're the one who needs help.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
Allstate Ford, 7-time recipient of Ford Motor Company's President's Award for Customer Satisfaction, with 13 Ford certified service technicians and a best-in-class parts department. Business or personal, we are the truck experts. Allstate Ford, on the Watterson at Poplar Level Road.
I mean, I think most people expect you to ultimately be the starter. Do you feel pressure in this competition?
No, I felt pressure when I went into South Carolina. That was pressure. But
yes, we understand. Pressure under fire. Welcome back to the Red and Blue Review. We're going to dig more deeply into some of the strengths and perhaps weaknesses of Blue and Red heading toward the Governor's Cup game and our Game Time storyline. The new quarterback for the Cats is Maxwell Smith, and Joker Phillips says one of the things that Max has shown maximum improvement in is that key quarterbacking area of leadership.
One thing I do like is how confident he is. Kids nowadays call it swag. He's got some swag to him. There's no doubt about that. He's got He's really cool. He's really calm. He's really confident. The thing that I also like is he's not afraid to say, Lonnie, get your tail over here. You're supposed to be here. That's the thing I think is important for a quarterback. He's got to be that guy. And
you absolutely do. It's funny because I remember Joker alluded to Maxwell Smith last year at Media Day when we didn't even know who the kid was. He was just this 6'4" guy from California of all places who came in early and just kind of sat there and nobody knew. But he said, this kid's got it. He's got it figured out. He hangs out with the O-line all the time. He knows what he's doing as a quarterback, and as Joker just continued. He's continued along that path of kind of being the guy that has to yank a knot in your tail every now and then. You have to have that out of your quarterback, and especially in a situation like this where we've been debating 4 quarterbacks all year. Who knows what it's been like inside the closed practices, but from our viewpoint, it could be 4 quarterbacks, and the rest of the team doesn't need that kind of a mystery. They need to know who they're looking to in that huddle.
Well, I thought last year, not this most recent UK spring game and the one previous, I thought Maxwell Smith was clearly a better quarterback than Morgan Newton. I don't know if it's inexperience for Smith that allowed Newton to win the job, but I think they've got of the 4, I think they've got the best guy for the job.
They probably do. I think UK always errs on the side of, okay, I've got 2, they're kind of close. This one has a little more experience, so he probably gives us the best chance to win. I'm going to err that way instead of just saying, forget it, we're going this direction.
Well, the Cards have 9 seniors this year. Will Stein says even though they are few, those few are ready to lead.
A lot of seniors, but I think our seniors as a whole can be the face of this program. We've been here through thick and thin, and we've seen really the transformation Coach Strong has put in this program, and I think we've got a strong bunch of guys, and Cupper and Mario and me and Andrell and Heiser and Bouchel. We got a bunch of guys that can really be the face of the program.
There are some actually good players in that senior class. There just aren't a whole lot of them. I mean, he named several of them. I think what's interesting to note as well is that several of those guys are local kids, never got on scholarship coming out of high school, are on scholarship now because they just outworked other people. They stuck to it. Will Stein, Cupper, Hauser. I mean, these guys are loyal to the program, and so that type of dedication to Louisville as a brand, as a community, thing, can be big because these guys can stand up in front of their teammates and say, "Listen, this is my hometown. This is my team. I've grown up rooting for them. This is why it's so important to me." In a way that maybe a guy from Florida or a guy from Tennessee, he can stand up there and say those things, but it doesn't mean as much because it's not his hometown team.
Well, it's taken 4 years for Morgan Newton to get right back where he started as they backup quarterback and now, perhaps once again, the most popular man on campus.
People start liking me again now I'm back up. No, I mean, that's just the nature of the business. It's SEC, it's a tough league. So, there probably will be opportunity. Not wishing anything bad, but you just got to be ready. Always a snap forward.
Yeah, history with this program will tell you that you better be ready because the quarterback's going to get dinged up at some point in the SEC. And Morgan has grown up so much. I think he impressed the UK fans more with how he's handled this demotion than anything he ever did on the field because he's grown up a lot. He had some comments when he first got here that kind of riled the fan base. It's Joker's team, it's not my team, stuff like that.
Yep.
And even last spring, I was talking to him, and he would say, I want the job, I'm coming back from rehab, I'd like to be out there. But at the end of the day, sometimes my job is to get out of the way. This is a business, and I was like, wow, the maturity level has gone through the roof for this kid.
One point on that. When was the last time that UK or Louisville has gone through an entire season with just one quarterback? Louisville hasn't done it in years. Kentucky hasn't done it in years. So this guy's got to keep his head on straight.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, chances are something's going to happen and he's going to have to play.
Yeah. Well, when one of those star players went down, Michael Lee Harris for Louisville, it looked like it was going to be a fatal blow to the receiving core of the Cards, but Eli Rogers says, not so fast, my friend.
All of our receivers are good, and personally, I believe we can have the best receiving core in the nation. We just going to come out here and we work hard every day, push each other, don't let anyone slack day in and day out, and just get out there. So I believe every receiver on this team could contribute to the team this year.
They've still got some very good wide receivers. They've still got Devontae Parker, Eli Rogers, Scott Radcliffe, Andrell Smith. I mean, they've got some guys out there that can really fly. People haven't seen a whole lot of Damian Copeland either, And so they've still got a good core of wide receivers. Losing Michael Lee Harris and his crisp routes and his leadership there really hurts, but I think they'll be okay.
If you were voting for success on the Louisville offense, we'd have to say the ayes have it. We'll explain that when we come back as we head to the break. Howie's going to tell you how you can find out everything you need to know about Cardinal football this year.
Absolutely. The Louisville Sports Report football preview was posted online for all Cardinal Athletic Fund donors and also any kind of subscribers to the online edition. You can check that out through our website on cardinalsports.com, right below the main picture. Click on that online edition there. You can also get it mailed to your house at 636-4330. If you're a Cardinal Athletic Fund donor, check your email. You've got your login information in your email. If you didn't get it, email us at louisvillesportsreport@gmail.com.
Have you driven a Ford lately? Well, stop by Allstate Ford and test drive a new Explorer or F-150. Or visit us online at allstatetrucks.com. Allstate Ford, on the Waterson at Poplar Level Road.
Underage drinking can permanently affect your memory and speech abilities. 10% of suicides involve underage drinking. 36% of homicides involve underage drinking. 30% of drownings involve underage drinking. Almost half of underage drinkers become addicted. Don't throw your life away.
It's Chevy Truck Month, and now is the time to get your new truck. Bachman has more Chevy trucks than any other dealer, all at fantastic prices. You'll get every Chevy incentive plus exclusive Bachman discounts during Chevy Truck Month. Tremendous selection of Silverados and every dependable Chevy truck. Plus, you save more during Chevy Truck Month with exclusive Bachman discounts. All Chevrolets are created equal. Bachman makes the difference.
See Allison at lunch today? I'm gonna text her. I'm gonna text Allison. Hey, hold up, Matt's calling me. Hey, we got the food and we're on our way right now. Hey, who's coming, bro? You're the one who needs help.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
Allstate Ford, 7-time recipient of Ford Motor Company's President's Award for Customer Satisfaction, with 13 Ford certified service technicians and a best-in-class parts department. Business or personal, we are the truck experts. Allstate Ford, on the Waterson at Poplar Level Road.
What needs fixing on the Red and Blue Review? Brought to you by Doug Jones Home Improvements.
When it comes to what needs fixing on the Kentucky football offense this year, that's a pretty big list. I mean, this team was terrible offensively last year, but there is more optimism for the Cats going into this football season. Randy Sanders says part of that optimism was created through competition.
Well, if you're the right type person, competition's always good for you. You know, if you're, sometimes guys come in and want things handed to them, and usually those are the ones you don't want when it gets tough or in the fourth.
Competition everywhere, and it can only help. These are the running backs, and yes, Josh Clemens is out, but you got Dashawn Mobley as a freshman. You got 2 freshmen, you got a couple of juniors, you got 5 or 6 people who could play running back and help you out a lot. And by committee, wide receiver, there's 5 or 6 people. The O-line even has a little bit of competition, and so they do on the defensive side as well. It can only help. It's the problem. So much of it is very, very young. Mm-hmm. They're all kind of in the same boat together.
The big question we had going into camp was who was going to be the starting quarterback. That's been answered. Any other questions, Daryl, in your mind that got answered in the preseason?
Yeah, the wide receivers is shaping up like we thought it would. The DeMarco Robinson, the Darryl Collins. There's going to be a lot of them. Lerod King, who Joker had concerns about in the summer, has really snapped his life back together and needs to be the leader. He's the senior. He is the one veteran player that out there on the offense. So he needs to lead this team and do what he can from his point.
For the Louisville offense, things, as Coach has already told us, really clicking on that side of the ball. And Sean Watson says, the offensive coordinator, the guys really have to start playing with their eyes.
You know, we need to clean up. We had some procedural penalties we need to clean up. We need to clean up, you know, some, you know, just communication more than anything else, communication. And then little details in the fundamental aspects such as footwork. I mean, footwork is probably the one big thing that we need to clean up. And, you know, and I would add one other thing, that's playing with our eyes.
I love this clip because it's fantastic to say you need to play with your eyes. It's like saying you need to breathe through your eyelids, right? And those are things that coaches say that make sense to coaches, and the players go, what is he talking about? What he's talking about footwork, though, makes sense because you got a bunch of young offensive linemen there, and they're still trying to figure that out, especially Jamon Brown, who is a defensive lineman for much of last season. So he's still trying to figure out how to, properly pass protect and all that kind of thing, and they're still working those things out. If those are the biggest question marks for Louisville offense, legitimately, if that's actually what they're really worried about, got to feel pretty good about things.
Now, what about for you? What question do you have going into camp that was either answered or still is a question to be determined?
I think the kicking game is still a big question mark, I think. The running back, while it's a question of who's going to start, I don't think that's a big question. I think they're going to use 2 or 3 guys.
All right, now one of the things that Cal has planned on, Darryl, is another one of those basketball reunions involving UK players, and it's going to be, I think, September 15th. Is
Tentatively,
that right?
yes. There's still a lot of stuff up in the air, but part of the proceeds go to help the tornado victims in West Liberty. Calipari made a trip there. I think Joker had his first tour of the season, started in West Liberty, so they're taking a lot of attention there. And sounds like it's going to be any UK players from like 96 forward, and it went over so well last year, and Calipari is determined to keep former players connected to this program, which some coaches are good at and some coaches are terrible at. He's really good at it.
Well, I'm going to lobby that it not be on September 15th. That's the same day that Kentucky plays Western. That's the same day that Kentucky's Hall of Fame will have their induction ceremony. And then this all is going to get overshadowed, as always, by UK basketball. What else? Hey, we'll catch up with you next time right here on the Red and Blue Review.
The Red and Blue Review is brought to you by Doug Jones Home Improvement Company, the Bachman Auto Group, Sam Swope, SWAT Team Pest Control, Joe's OK Bayou, PNC Bank, Allstate Ford Truck Sales, and the Ali Center.
I remember the moment clearly.
I'll never forget that moment.
As long as I live.
I realized at that moment, when we first saw the damage, these people really needed us. And I was going to make a difference, right here in my community. Together with local responders, we cleared trees and collapsed walls. We had to get to the family trapped beneath. As a citizen soldier, I made a difference.
Be there for your community at NationalGuard.com.